Our research really revolves around a problem that chief medical officers have. They open up the morning paper and they find that their hospital's been ranked very low in some quality of care report. And their initial reaction is always, our patients are really sicker, and that's why we look so bad in the reports. This research, template matching, tries to improve the reports so that there's a fair comparison across all hospitals. What we decided to do was create a template of patients, meaning a set of patients. In our case, it was 300 patients with general surgery and orthopedic surgery. And we said, let's take a relevant template and then match at each hospital their patients that would fit the template. So we ended up with 300 patients being matched at 217 hospitals. Now we have very similar patients at each of the hospitals because they've all been matched to this cookie cutter template, which is producing very similar patients across hospitals. So now we can make a very fair comparison because we're looking at the same, in a sense, 300 patients at each and every hospital, which is completely different than the way almost all report cards are made today, where they look at the patients at an individual hospital, then they try to estimate how would they have done at other hospitals, where each hospital has different patients. So we're completely changing things around. The technique is, and there's another word for it called direct standardization. And what we're doing is saying you have to have a fair exam. The fair exam is, how did the hospitals do on these 300 patients? We find the hospital's 300 patients that look like the template, and that's what we compare across hospitals. So now it's very hard for a chief medical officer to say, our patients were really sicker than another hospital. It's very hard to do that because the patients we're going to be examining at their hospital are the same 300 that are at each and every other hospital. Same in the sense that we have multivariate matched them, which means that we've matched them on literally hundreds of characteristics so that they're very, very similar, and their risk of doing poorly or their chance of doing well is very, very similar across all the hospitals. There are two key takeaways. The first is that we can do the matching. And what we showed was that you can get very close matches across hospitals, each hospital stamped out to this template of patients. The second is that there's just great variability in the way the hospitals handled the patients and the outcomes of the patients. And I think seeing that the matches were so close, and at the same time seeing that the outcomes were so different, was something that I think people should realize, that there are differences in quality across hospitals, and that there are, I think, better ways to measure them than what we've been doing up to now.